What is going on, Colts Nation? Here's Jamal Lawrence. I'm Eric Smith, your co-host of the Colts Cast.
Yo.
Hey, Jamal, it's been a minute since we've done an episode. You know, it's the dry season right now for
Oh
us,
yeah.
for every Colts content creator. I feel like, but we try to pump out some content when we can. So thanks everyone for tuning in.
Absolutely.
Welcome back. It's been a week or so. Hey, Laiatu Latu. That's the topic of conversation today. NFL draft, it's over. We got our guys. But there's, one award we haven't really talked about, and that is the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. You know, let's be honest, offense was the name of the game of this draft. We didn't see a single defensive player get picked up until the 15th pick, which was the Indianapolis Colts pick. I mean, that has to be the longest ever in the draft era, the modern era, whatever you want to call it. But look, we got Laiatu Latu at 15, but there's a lot of other contenders there for defensive rookie in the year. I mean, let's just talk about Jamal. Like,
Yeah.
how are we feeling about it? Do we think Latu is in a good position to secure this thing? Does he have any strong contenders? Talk to him.
Yeah. All right. So before we break this down, I'm just go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for us. Welcome back, y'all. We're happy to be back. If again it's your first time ever listening, appreciate you dropping by. If you're a returning listener, as always, keep on coming back because we like to have fun and drop as much good content as we can. But like you just talking about, Eric, with the Latu. So I was actually just pulling up the 2024 NFL D-Roy odds. Looks like right now we are sitting at second. Dallas Turner is sitting at number one. He's projected right now. Best odds are in plus 430 on FanDuel, but Latu just right behind plus 600 on BetMGM, plus 600. Now, I can understand why, probably they have Dallas up there. Of course, I think a lot of people thought Dallas would probably would have gotten picked before Latu, just because, of course, you know what he did at Bama and so on and so forth. But we're talking about a bona fide dog right now that we got Latu. So it's a little disrespectful to go ahead and have him at that second because my man can eat at the number one spot. He should be the projected winner. And then there's been a couple hot takes from a couple people, and some journalists who said that Latu has a chance to win this thing. But when you ask Eric, you kind of, or is there anything that helps him out, anything that stands out for us? The biggest thing I could think is just our dominant defensive line we have. He's coming into a great system that's D lineman friendly with this Gus Bradley system. He's in great company with some of the guys who we have on the field, but in really good company as far as it goes for what the coaching staff does, because they preach, and of course with a low blitz defense like we have, it remains in these front guys' hands. And just to kind of remind everybody, when we think about thinking about defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year, I should say, I believe the ones who've won it that have been linemen of the past couple of years. Will Anderson Jr. won it last year. I believe next was Chase Young, then Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa. Those are the four defensive linemen we've won over the past couple of years. And one thing I noticed in common about all these guys, the sack game was strong and the tackle game was strong for them. Tackles for losses. Welcome to Indianapolis. Samson Abukum had 9.5 sacks last year. Kwity Paye 8.5. D Buck had 8. Dio had 8. All I'm saying is this is free game for Latu. Latu in college, in case you guys forgot, my man had over 60 pressures in his last year, or his 2 years at UCLA. 23.5 sacks total, 10.5 in 2022 and 13 in 2023. Those numbers are the kind of numbers you need if you want to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, of course, we know when you get to the league, things change a little bit. It's obviously a more aggressive league, but when I say that he's going to be fresh in that rotation, he's always going to be fresh because the amount of dogs we have on this squad, he can come in and make an impact play every single opportunity he has. It's going to be a lot of pressure off of him because people are going to be worried about the Samsons, the D-Bucks, the Grovers. So
You got him as the favorite?
I got him as my favorite. D-Roy.
Okay.
D-Roy, my favorite right here. I'm gonna lock it in. I'm probably lock it in tonight. I ain't no probably. I am gonna lock it in tonight.
Gamble responsibly, folks.
Lock it in tonight.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, we posted that Laiatu Latu versus Myles Garrett comparison as far as when Garrett was in college at A&M and Latu, of course, at UCLA, like pass rush win rate. Latu had a better pass rush win rate. I mean, that's crazy. The Myles Garrett he's the number one overall pick, right? In his draft. Had a few more sacks than him. Well, he was in college. These are for 2 years, their last 2 years of college. Tackles for loss and forced fumbles were generally the same. I mean, I think Garrett has him a little beat, but the fact of the matter is he's comped up to him essentially in the pass rushing department. But here, I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, Jamal. I
Okay.
I see why Dallas Turner is the favorite. I mean, the Vikings they got rid of Danielle Hunter. So
Hmm.
like, Dallas Turner, he's probably gonna have a little bit more opportunity than Laiatu Latu. Now, that's not saying he's the better player, the better
Sure.
prospect, but when you have to fill the shoes and you're probably gonna be a starter, day one, like Latu, is he locked in as a starter day one? I know he's gonna get some reps in, but is he gonna get those starter reps in? I don't know.
Hmm.
Now, I do know Dallas Turner will, and Brian Flores, he loves the blitz. So that man's going to be in some friendly situations there where he's going to be able to probably put up some numbers. Now, again, I'm just playing devil's advocate because I like Latu. I like what he brings to the table. Latu might be in the position of opportunity as well because he has all of these guys. We have the better line than them, of course.
No doubt.
So all of our guys, Quiddy Pay, Buckner, Stewart, Ibukam, they're going to open up for Latu. And like you said, he's going to feast on those numbers. So, and, it just seems like pass rushers always win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I would say the other person maybe it's probably going to be like maybe a cornerback that's in the
Hmm.
contention. So, Quinion Mitchell, Nate Wiggins, Terrion Arnold, if they can replicate a Sauce Gardner type
Yeah.
year, which is really hard to do because like Sauce Gardner, I've talked. You would think I'm a Jets fan. I've talked wonders about him. I mean, he's just been elite for what he's done over the first few years in the league. So if he can just get better, I don't even know if that's possible. But if you have if you have a caliber like that in contention, then maybe. But really, is this the Latu versus Turner race? Does Jared Verse get put in there? Chop Rob?
Mm.
You never know, really. But numbers are gonna speak volume here. Like you said, Jamal. Generally, they have high sack numbers, things like that. So if Latu can win in that department, which he did in college, then because he was probably the most productive pass rusher in college. So
Yeah.
if that can translate into the NFL, I think I'm not going to recommend to anyone to bet, but if I had to, that's a pretty good bet. Latu was the first defensive player taken for a reason. I think the Colts did their DD. I look. I like Latu. I like Latu's odds here. Again, it's just corners or pass rushers here. It looks like I'm looking at the odds. I mean, you go all the way down, you see McKinstry, Cooper DeJean, see Brian Murphy there. So,
Hmm.
of course, this is going to change as the season unfolds, but I understand why Turner's up there in that first. So,
Yeah.
if I'll ride with you, Jamal. For the sake of argument, I was playing devil's advocate, but I'll ride with you. I'll ride with you. I like Latu. He's
Yeah.
my number one too.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, that's going to start in training camp. The man needs to get on the field, show he can be productive in the film room, productive on the field, and healthy. Obviously, that's the biggest thing. But it's going to elevate it. We talked about Quiddy Pay and kind of what's going on with him at this point. His career, he has a lot to prove for himself too. So it's if anything, it's friendly competition, but it's a job that they're competing for right now. It's
Mm,
their livelihood. These guys can be friends off the field, but when they're on the field like with each other, like at the practice
yeah.
field, it's about who wants it more. And I think that puts Latu at a small elevation right there because, of course, he's going to be respectful. But my man, he knows what he can do, and I think he knows he wants that starting spot. Will he get it? I don't know. Only time will tell. But I think he'll definitely have some fire under him and an opportunity to make something happen because I know you mentioned the tackle for a loss thing. What did he have in college? Like 20 35 and a half tackles for losses. I mean, that's nuts. So he's getting back there and getting some pressure. But I'm excited for what's to come, man. It's a great time. Like, so I'm gonna put my money on Latu for this one. Gamble responsibly. But I'm excited for what this man can bring to the table for us, and hopefully he can get us elevated us again. We need another eight. sack monster in the backfield. So let's get it.
Yeah, and let's be honest, everyone. 2025 comes around. We got 3 guys on the defensive line.
Mhm.
Actually, 4. What I'm looking at a spot track. Ibu comes up. Raekwon Davis is only on a 1-year deal. Kwity Paye, as you all know, is up. Tyquan Lewis. Like, they drafted Latu for a reason. I don't think all of these guys will be retained, but that's for another episode.
Yeah,
Defensive
you're right. We have to do that one.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I got some words. I got some words for that. We do have to do that soon.
Yeah, defensive rookie of the year,
D-Roy.
Laiatu Latu. Hey, let us know what y'all think in the comments, of course, if you're on YouTube. That's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We are live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts, and we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content.
Take it easy.
Take care.